Guys,
You guys crap me up.
considering on the day of Mo's birthday, let's see how far we've come in life.
Oh,
I want to talk about advice.
okay.
How good are you with giving and receiving?
I'm better at receiving advice because because I will openly admit I don't know everything. So when it comes to like advice for, let's say, career, for marriage, even like friendship and just life in general, I'm always someone that's open to learning new things and how to approach different situations. Marriage is, I won't lie, marriage, that's one area where it's taken more time for me to receive like advice, because the pressure of trying to be everything in a relationship has been, it's been difficult, you know, because you just want to chill, you want to relax, but I've had to learn, actually, no, I am here to be more than just, I'm just a husband in it. It's just like, no, you are a lover, you know, you love your wife and all of that kind of stuff. But in like career, I'm always open, I'm always listening, always. But I, now to put that into practice, that's where it's just like, all right, I've given you the advice.
Thank you.
Now you got to do it.
Well, it's vice versa. Why this crossed my mind the other day was, I mean, certain things are happening in my life, I'm not allowed to you, that I'm not happy about. That's because I know now that I was being advised about it before, I just didn't recognize the advice. I didn't recognize it. So I'm like, it was the literal textbook was in my face. All I had to do is apply myself, but I was very nonchalant about it. But now it's like, if I only had taken that advice, I would have avoided this situation, that situation. I would have experienced certain things more.
Yeah.
I think I'm a person that I'm always glad to give advice, but here's where it's tricky, yeah? The same way I'm giving advice and that's all right, but applying the advice is where it's tricky. It's the same way, sometimes when I'm giving people advice, I'm saying, would you do that yourself though? Right. Have you even done that yourself?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to say it. Oh, I would have. Then I have to check myself and say, have you done that? Have you done it? You're quick to, but have you done it?
Yeah.
And that's where it gets tricky now. I feel like now my ears are a lot more attentive, a lot more, because I'm aware of people's words. I'm aware of their experience and what they've gone through. Like my friends, when it just comes to like even moving forward relationships, like my friends have been through certain things that you go, that's how I'm supposed to do it. Or this is what I need to look out for. I mean, like financially, you now go, I see it. Not only do I see it, I remember when you was telling me, I now see the results of the things that you applied in your life now. Do you know what I mean? And it's so important, bro.
I think it's interesting with advice because I feel like I was more like, I'm more receptive to it now that I think I can take the advice in and apply it and see the outcomes.
Yeah. Right.
Whereas I think when you're in your, I don't know, late teens, early 20s, you have this like, I know everything. Because 100%. The advice you get at that point in your life is just from school. You must get a job, you must do this, you must do that. To the point where I think when I left school, I was like, I ain't taking none of this in. Do you know what I mean? I ain't seen no results. Only until I think when I left school, 20s, I was like, I don't need this. I know what I need to do for me in it. And that was like, cool, I need to get a job and I want to do comedy. That's all I wanted to do. So I think I was more like, I don't need to listen to that because I know what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's only until probably you get to your 30s where you're like, this advice might be quite good if I take this on. Do you know what I mean? I've got nothing to lose now. Whereas I think in your 20s, you feel like, I've got everything to lose, everything. You're like, brother, I was living at home, I was comfy, do you know 100%. What I mean?
That's the part. Because does it feel like, when you're like, I'm going to take the advice now, is it almost like subconscious because I've tried other things and it definitely hasn't worked?
Yes.
Is that really what it is? It's almost like, the what do they say? There's a saying, I can't say it properly, but basically, let a child touch the heater so they can feel the pain, that kind of thing, right? So my whole thing is like, I know the things I've applied.
Yeah.
And it's been like, I know now. I know they don't work. And I can see that what you're saying has worked in your life.
Yeah.
And it's insane because when you're younger, you're not aware.
No.
You're not even aware of the things that are coming. You just think it's the thing that you're experiencing now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you, there's little things that my dad used to say back in the days about just take £10. And you think £10? But what's that gonna do for me? If you get £100, 500, just take £10 and put it to the side.
Yeah.
But you come to think now, you go, actually, do you know how much £1 is?
Yeah.
Even if you're earning £1 million, do you know what £1 is?
Yeah.
There's a principle that you're being trained for from early, but you don't even understand. If you start it off, by the time you get to a certain age, you're done. So I think that's the thing about advice. Advice, for me, at one stage felt like control. Felt like every time I was advised, someone was trying to control me.
Yes.
And I rebelled against it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how it feels for me.
Right.
Whenever someone, I always know it's good advice when my reaction is, here we
Yeah,
go.
oh
Like,
my
that's when I'm
gosh.
like, all right, let me listen to this.
The painful one, right?
Because I'm just like, I just want to do whatever I want to do. You know, like I remember when I came to you and I was just like, oh, bro, I'm gonna wrap my car, and you were just like, Baba, just slow down. He was just like, give it a moment. He was like, trust me, give it a moment. You're gonna wait until you get like bored, then do that, so it feels new again. And I'm glad I listened. I'm so glad I listened, because I remember just the other day when I must have got it like, this is so random, it's very minute, but I got it like cleaned and polished, and I looked at my guy, I was just like, oh yeah, let me
chill.
to rap this, let me chill, let me enjoy
The
this
hip hop
for a
and he's
second.
fighting in it.
Yeah.
The rapper in
But I
Baba.
was just like, no, I just want to, I want to showcase this thing, and I was like, nah, let me relax. But yeah, whenever I feel like annoyed when someone tells me something, I know it's good advice.
Does it feel awkward when your friends, because we're so used to doing banter with the man them, we brush everything under the carpet, we almost approve all the nonsense that comes out of our mouth, innit?
Yeah.
Because that's the banter, that's what the friendship group is. Then you have those moments where, does it feel awkward when your boy looks at you dead in the eye and says, big man, you're flopping, you know?
No.
Or you got to do this, you know? You're wrong.
No.
Because sometimes it feels,
because it's like, I haven't had, I think whenever I have had those conversations, they're very rare with me and my friends. Do you know what I mean? Right. Especially when they tell me stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think they're just like, well, I feel like Mo's figuring it. He seems like he's figuring it all out. So it is quite rare. But whenever I do, it is that like, oh, this must have meant a lot to you to tell me this, because my friends don't always tell me that stuff. Do you know what I mean? And family as well. Do you know what I mean? I have to big up my family, because they'll be the first ones to tell me. Do you know what I mean? That's not even advice. They're just like, we need to tell you this. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think sometimes like when you can show that you've got it all figured out, and it's like, well, yeah, he seems like he knows what he's doing. He wants to. I've always been someone that if I can set myself a plan and a target, then I can do it. As hard as it looks like I'm going to make it work, I'm going to make it work somehow. So when you show that to people, they can also have this like, oh, he knows what he's doing then, because he's done it before. He knows how to figure it out. He knows how to get from this place to that place. But I guess sometimes people would then be like, well, I don't need to give him advice because this person's got it all figured out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel when it comes to giving advice, it would be wrong of me not to say something if I can see the best in what it can bring out in someone. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going to give someone advice and I'm like, this might kind of make them upset or it might make them angry, I don't know if I need to give them that advice in that time, in that space.
Fair.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's the positive of like, hey, like, you should really look at trying to do this, it's going to be great, because I can see it, I've experienced it, and I can see it, or I can see it for that person, then I have to tell that person that thing. Do you know what I mean? And that's hard, because sometimes I can get that at mad times in the night, 3 a.m. And I'm like, I just want to text and say, but they're sleeping. Do you know what I mean? I think when it comes to advice, I only want to see the best out of people to give them the advice.
Advice
Do you know
from
what I mean?
strangers. Like a stranger see you in the middle of the road, and I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had that, bro. I've had on the train, and the person sat next to me. I felt they just clocked who I was. And then they kind of just started talking to me about how it was almost like the direction they saw I was going. This was a few years back. They were bang on. They were bang on, just in terms of like confidence. Don't, it feels like you just kind of not giving up, but you're just kind of cruising because whatever. I think you got a few more steps to go, and you should. But it feels at that moment that you don't know me like that. Like you almost want to push back because you still want to create the persona of I know what I'm doing, but actually that person knows exactly what you need to do.
Yeah,
it might feel like the wrong messenger. Focusing on the message is a bit mad, isn't it? It's hard. It's hard.
It depends what space they're talking about, and especially for me, are you an expert in that field?
Yeah,
maybe expert's too big of a word, but yeah, do you have experience?
Do you understand?
Yeah, do you understand? Do you have experience in that field? I've stopped, and early on when I was late teens, I'd say, sorry, not late teens, sorry, late 20s, I was getting advice from people who had not had a huge experience in the comedy field, giving me advice, and I had to. I'd say success. They never had success within the field, and that is a measurement of how much you do know, how much you have experience. So I was getting a lot of advice from said people, and I remember one day I had to say, "What have they done here that you can actually see as proof?" I've not seen anything. They've not done anything, and that's no disrespect to them, but they've not done anything. Let me fall back from their advice, because from me applying what they're saying, nothing's happening as a result. So maybe I need to take a different approach or speak to somebody else. And when I did do that, the results, thank God, has changed. But that's one thing I always advise people on is look at the people who you're receiving word from.
You know what's interesting about that though? There, like just for us to think about now, from the other side. Yeah. I feel sometimes people advise you because the things that they're not capable of doing, they think you are.
Ooh.
So because when you were saying what you're saying, I hear it. They may not have success in that space, or they may not have shown proof of applying themselves in the things they're talking about. Right. But they're like, you can.
There
like,
is that side.
A football manager is advising like Ronaldinho different to a next player who's not as capable. But it's like, me as a player, when I was a player, like most of the football managers, we don't even remember them as being big bad boy players. But they are
they've seen something in the game
100%.
that people didn't see.
Yeah, but I'm like, they're like, Baba, you know what? I needed to cross that river. Yeah, but you've never crossed that river. I don't know how to swim. I know you can swim, but you're just
it's never given in that way. If it was
I'm just saying
I'd
because I think sometimes that's what I mean about recognizing. Like me, maybe I didn't recognize certain things at the time when people were advising me because I'm thinking, what are you talking about? But further down the line, I've gone, oh, that's what you meant. This was really for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't about you. It was for me because you saw what I was capable of. Yeah. And it's so funny. It's about like, I don't know if it's discernment. I don't know what it is that to be able to recognize what is advice, what is criticism, you know what I mean? What is hatred?
Yeah.
Like all those things, like what is absolute just ignorance?
Right.
Because they all can come at the same time and you got to be able to discern which one is what. And that's when it's tricky, man.